Hello, once again, Kenny Jacobs from Bloomington, Illinois. I'm a PGA teaching professional, and my videos talk both about how to improve your golf game, as well as being a Christian and living in the last days. I want to talk to you a little bit today about how to handle adversity and how to handle a storm when it comes up on the golf course. Every round of golf you play, there's going to be some point in that round, even if you're playing a great round, where you could kind of lose it and you start to struggle a little bit. Maybe you hit a few wild shots. Maybe you start to just kind of lose the feel of your golf swing, or kind of start to lose your confidence a little bit. And you got to find a way to keep going and keep that round from getting away from you, and learn to minimize the mistakes and recover. Looking back on some of the rounds I played, my most satisfying rounds, maybe not the most fun rounds. A fun round happened when you felt great and you were swinging good and you're hitting the ball good and your putting stroke felt good, so you scored good. I mean, obviously those are going to be good rounds, and a day like that should be a good round, and they're a lot of fun. But probably the most satisfying rounds I played were the rounds where maybe I didn't feel that great playing. Maybe my swing didn't feel quite right. Maybe I wasn't hitting it quite as good as I would like to. But somehow at the end of the day, the score was still pretty good. I kept it from getting out of hand and not getting totally away from me. And that's really what a good player needs to learn to do in tournaments, is you need to learn how to take a day that really could have gotten away from you and still post a decent score. So hopefully you're still in the tournament, and the next day or two you can have a couple of really good rounds and move up. And so philosophy-wise, if you're struggling and you're not hitting it very good, play conservative. Just minimize your mistakes. Get the ball back in play. Don't try to do some hero shot from the trees. I always felt like if I was struggling, not hitting the ball very well, why do I think I can now get in the trees and hit this great shot and control the club face and squeeze it between some trees when I'm obviously not swinging very good today? If I was having a really good round and I happened to hit a shot in the trees, then I'm probably more likely to go ahead and try to hit more kind of a spectacular recovery kind of shot through the trees. But otherwise, I'm going to just get it back in play and minimize my mistakes. You got to stay in the present. You can't be focusing on the previous shot you hit if it was bad, or if you start to lose your confidence, you can't dwell on that. You just got to stay in the present, focus, try to keep yourself calm, and stick with shots that you feel comfortable with, and do everything you can to minimize the mistakes. Because, like I said, every round of golf you play, there's going to be some storms that come up, and you just have to be able to handle them. Now, looking at the forecast today, we've got a really big winter storm coming in. It's going to get really, really cold, high winds, and the potential for a lot of snow. And that got me thinking about one of my favorite stories in the Bible, and that's in Luke chapter 8. I'll go ahead and read it real quick. It says, "Now it came to pass on a certain day that he went into a ship with his disciples, and he said unto them, Let's go over to the other side of the lake. And they launched forth. But as they sailed, he fell asleep, and there came down a storm of wind on the lake, and they were filled with water, and they were in jeopardy. And they came to him, and woke him, saying, Master, Master, we perish. Then he arose, and rebuked the wind and the raging of the water, and they ceased, and there was a calm. And he said unto them, Where is your faith? And they, being afraid, wondered, saying one to another, What manner of man is this, that he commands even the winds and the water, and they obey him?" Well, we're definitely, as I've been telling you in these videos, living in the last days. And when we're living in the last days, we're going to see storms like we've never seen in our lives before. And there's really only one way to handle those, and there's only one way to get through them, and that is call on the name of the Lord. The Bible says that whosoever calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. So as you see these days getting darker and darker, and more bad storms literally and figuratively, and things are getting harder and harder and scarier, you see more disasters on this earth and more earthquakes and wars and whatever it is, I want to encourage you to come into the ark of Jesus. Let him calm you during these storms and provide you with the protection that we need in these last days. All the signs are here. Jesus is definitely coming back soon. Let's be ready.